on a certain road. We talked about this road that he saw, that he came upon some people. Who did he appear to? Starts with an E and ends with an S. Isabella? No. Very close. You get it. I'm going to give it to you, Ellie. Emmaus. And so find the people that look like they're walking down a road. They're maybe right here. They would go next, wouldn't they? Let's get a place for them. There we go. Let's get the other piece. Can you do the other piece right there? All right. Great. And so then, who does he appear to next? Does anybody remember that? We'll let Raylan put him up there. Can somebody tell me who he appeared to next? And it was in an upper room. With those two pieces right there. Good. You know what? Those ended up in the right place. But I would put them back in. So put that piece right there, sweetie.
Why didn't they knock on my stuff?
I just didn't get confused. So thank you. You can go sit back down. Who did he appear to that wanted to feel the scars of his hands and his side? Who is it that hasn't answered the question? Kate? Thomas, that's right. You want to come find the piece with Thomas? Or you appear to Thomas? Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Thomas, you want to do it?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what we've got here. You know what? That one's in the right place too. There we go. Put it right there. So that's when he appears to Thomas. We got the very bottom there. Where did he, who saw Jesus next that he came and had breakfast with? Where did they have breakfast?
Oh, with disciples and right on the hill.
Not on the hill, the opposite of a hill.
Claire, do you remember where they had breakfast? Okay.
Miles, do you know?
A valley?
No, not a valley.
It's the opposite of the hill.
I know he did answer correctly. Okay. Isabella?
On the shore.
On the shore, very good. Isabella, pick somebody to come put that one up since you've already had a turn.
Claire.
Who?
Claire.
Okay, Claire, you want to come put this one up?
That Claire, not that Claire.
We have two Claires, okay. There we go. And so after Jesus had breakfast with them on the shore, and he was blessing them, remember, he was blessing the disciples and the apostles. What happened, the very last one that we studied about? Henry. Right, the ascension. Have you put one up, Henry? Okay, why don't you put the last puzzles up there? So we are picking up with the ascension of Jesus when he went up into the clouds. And we're going to start from there. Can you get him up there? Very good. So I hope you can look at those. Now the puzzle's right. It's in the right place. And that's the order of after the tomb was empty of who Jesus appeared to until he ascended to heaven. Because remember, he was talking to them and they just lifted up. And then he was gone. All they saw were the clouds. And the two men in the white robes told him what Jesus had told them to go to Jerusalem. What the Bible says, there were two men in white clothing.
They also told him that why are you staying? To see him come down as the same way you saw him.
That's exactly right, Henry. He said he will come back the same way he went. And where did he tell them to go? What do you think the name of that city is?
Jerusalem.
Very good. That's Jerusalem. And so We know that Jesus is the light of the world, and we are Jesus' light of the world. So I want my apostles to go get around that mat. I want everybody to turn around. We are going into the upper room. Jackson, that's me. Can they go and fix the wall and face out this way?
Is that okay?
Yeah, so they can
Yeah.
see me, yeah.
Come on up here. Jackson and
So after Jesus spoke to them and arose from the clouds and into heaven, those two men that we talked about in the white robes came and told them that they needed to go to Jerusalem. They had to wait for something and they didn't know what it was. Have you guys ever had to wait for something and you didn't know what it was and it was kind of scary and it was kind of, you didn't know what was going to happen? Like, scary movies. Well, I was thinking about getting a shot at the doctor's office or going to school and having a new teacher that you don't know.
I'm scared of socks.
You are. So there are things we're scared of, but if you're just waiting and you don't know what's going to happen, that could be scary or it could be exciting. But if you're going on a vacation and you're waiting for that to happen, that's kind of exciting. So they were anticipating something that they didn't know what it was.
I'm not going on vacation tomorrow.
And are you excited? But you don't, you know where you're going? So if you didn't know where you were going or what was going to happen, it might just be a little bit scary to think about. So they left Jerusalem and they traveled from Mount Olivet near Jerusalem, which was a whole day's journey of walking. What about, Lucas, if you had to go on your vacation, you had to walk all the way there. They walked all day to get back to Jerusalem. And when they got back, they went up to the upper room where they were staying. So do you know who was there? We have all the apostles here in front of us. And I want all of you, of the other people that are watching, to help me sing their names. You guys have been singing this song in the class that you go to. And so what we're going to do is we're not going to sing, we're not going to sing the verses in between. We're just going to sing the names. So let's name the apostles with the song.
Peter and Jesus.
We're going to sing them, okay? Jesus called them one by one. Peter, Andrew, James, and John. Philip and Thomas, Matthew and Bartholomew. James, the one they call the Less. Simon, also Thaddeus. The 12th apostle Judas made. Jesus was by him betrayed. Then Matthias took his place to preach the word to every race. Paul made 3 trips to Paul 3 trips. Paul lost the one. Went to Rome for Jesus' sake. Yes, Jesus called them. Yes, Jesus called them. Yes, Jesus called them. And they all followed him. And so the disciples, when they got into that upper room, remembered the words that Jesus spoke to them.
Go to Jerusalem and wait for the promise of the Father. You will receive power from the Holy Spirit and be my witnesses in Jerusalem and all Judea and Samaria and to the end of the earth.
And they were praying together with the women, Mary, the mother of Jesus, and his brothers. And Peter stood up to the 120. There were just, besides the apostles, there were 120 people there. Believers who had gathered to wait. Come on in, Peter.
The scripture must be fulfilled concerning Judas. It is written in the book of Psalms, let another take his place. One of the men who had been with us all the time that Jesus went out with us, beginning from when Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist until the day he was taken from us. One of these must be the one to become a witness to his resurrection.
They picked 2 men. They picked Joseph, also called Justus, and they picked Matthias. Both of them were witnesses to Jesus. Like Peter was saying, they had to witness everything that Jesus did to the resurrection and they were acceptable to be chosen.
You, Lord, who know the hearts of all, show which one of these two you have chosen to take place in this ministry and apostleship from which Judas turned aside to go to his own place.
They cast lots, which if you know what casting lots is, they use like pebbles or maybe bits of wood. And after you get a lot, then Peter's going to collect them. You can have Peter's back.
The lot falls on Matthias. He will be numbered with the 11.
The disciples and the apostles and all who were kept waiting for the fulfillment of what had been told were there. They worked, they grew in the kingdom. So how can we grow as believers in the kingdom? What can we do? So guys, if you are in a positive turnaround, not the ones up against the wall, the ones right there with your backs. I want you to see what we've got here. These are the ways that you can grow. The petals are over there on the table. Laura, can you bring them? Let me pick them up. Okay, so we looked at all the things about the kingdom. How can we grow in the kingdom? Okay, Reverend, I'm going to let you put one up, and I'll let Claire read it for you, okay? There's the center of our flower. We're looking at another flower. So put that petal on there, Raylan. Can you put it right there? There we go. Claire? Can you read it for me?
We learn God's word.
Right, that's how we can grow in the kingdom. That's one of the ways. Let's see, who hasn't been up here? Sam, would you like to put one on? Over there. Okay, what does that one say? Kira, you want to read Sam's?
We want to please you.
We want to please Jesus. When we're coming in the door, pleasing, it's about pleasing Jesus. Okay, who else hasn't helped me with anything? The other Claire over here. Would you like to put one on? You're not the other Claire. You are the Claire that is you. There we go. Let's put this one on the bottom so we can read it. What does that one say? Let's see. Ellie, would you read it for me?
We live our life serving Jesus.
Right. We live our life serving Jesus. And how do we serve Jesus? Praying. And what else? We serve other people, don't we? Okay. Stevie, would you like to put one up? No? You don't think so? Okay. Here you go. Okay, let's put that one on the side right over there. Good job. Okay, who would like to read this one? Miles, would you read Stevie's?
We keep growing more like Christ.
Right, we try to live our lives to be more like Christ every day. And two more, let's see. Adelaide, would you like to put one up here? Okay. Thomas, would you like to put one up? That one can keep those right there. There we go. Okay. Brennan, you want to read that one? Oh, you want to do the next one? Can you read that one?
We work
Community.
for
Believers, that's the one we talked about, that we were talking about with everybody gathered here, a community of believers. And here is another, who has not come up and done anything for me? Aiden, did you come up and do one of those? Who hadn't done any of them?
Virginia and Bryn have not done it.
Oh, okay. Come on up, Bryn. Sorry, Virginia.
Oh, sorry, Bryn.
Bryn,
Not Brandon, Bryn.
will you read it for us? Okay, sweetie, sorry. It's a little bit upside down. Our flower's a little bit. There. Okay, Bryn. Bryn's going to read this one.
We are baptized.
That's right. And these are the things that we're going to be talking about every week about how we can grow in the King's kingdom. So everybody get back on the, in front of the puppet show. Whoops. Yes. And face towards the puppet show. We're going to face different directions. So I've got 3 questions for you guys about this lesson that may come in handy down the road. You'll just have to wonder what that is. You'll have to wait and see. So where did Jesus tell the apostles and the disciples to go to after he ascended? Anybody hear it? Right, Jerusalem. So he went to Jerusalem. And who was the apostle that was chosen in that upper room? Kate. Yes, Matthias. And where is Jesus now? Where did Jesus ascend to? Virginia? Right, in heaven. So these are some things that maybe will help you remember some of the things about this lesson that were important to us as Christians, growing as Christians. And when we, the red one's Matthias. That was the 12th apostle that was chosen. So I'm going to send you home with a craft to do with your parents that's in this bag. And every one of you, you want to hold it up? Every one of you are going to get one of these to work with your parents. And then each week, this big bag that has a letter for your parents, you can put your craft or your whatever your lesson gives you into this big bag and collect them all together. So we'll hand this one out at the end of the lesson. Everybody's going to get one of these. It's all zipped up. Everything's zipped up. And there are instructions that you or your parents can read about putting this together. But when it's put together, it will look like this. I thought I brought it with me. It's going to look like this. There's Jesus talking to the disciples, and he's talking to the apostles when he was blessing them. And then look what happens when he went up into the clouds. And so hopefully this can remind you where he is now and how much he has sacrificed for us, how much he loves us, that he's doing this for you. So I hope next week that you will do that. You can try it when you put it together, okay? When you put yours together,
Are we
you can.
putting all of it together today, or are we like doing these like once a week?
You're going to get that bag, and you'll put this one together next week. And then next week you'll get another one. And I don't know what it's going to be. You'll just have to see. But it'll be handed out to go in that big bag. But we won't hand those out to the very end of the lesson. Okay?
So you'll get one to take home tonight and then one to take home every Sunday night. And you're going to take this bag home tonight, and each Sunday night that you get one, you're going to put your items into this bag to save so you can review all the lessons.
Right, and you can review them for, not just while we're doing these lessons, you can review them anytime. Let's see.
My sister.
We're going to give your sister one. Oh, was Anna? Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. We'll give her one too. How sweet. Very good. Okay.